This is Optometrists Building Empires, and I'm your host, Ankit Patel. Each week, we'll explore the journey of practice ownership and leadership in optometry. Join us for insights and strategies from the top minds in our field. This show is sponsored by My Business Care Team. My Business Care Team helps your office increase revenues, reduce costs, and reduce staffing headaches. Let's build your empire together. Today's guest is someone who I love talking to every time, and I think you'll love hearing from him. He's an accomplished business owner, skilled entrepreneur, and a seasoned optometrist. He has over 25 years of professional experience in the eye care world. He specializes in eye exams, contact lens fittings, and managing ocular diseases. He's also a passionate advocate for ocular education and accessible vision care, regularly giving back through community outreach programs. He's the owner of Golden Triangle Eye Clinic. Please welcome Dr. Lee Ford. Lee, welcome.
Hi. Thank you, sir, for having me on.
I'm excited for this conversation. So let's jump into it. What was the most important thing that helped you build your empire?
Failure. The continual breaking down of what you're doing and reevaluation of where you are and how you got there. In a former life, I used to be an athlete, and physical training is a matter of breaking it down and then building back up. And clinical training is the same thing. You make mistakes. And business training is the same thing. Yeah. You screw it up and you figure out that was not a good thing, so you don't do that again. I think they call it wisdom, not intelligence.
I like that. That's actually really insightful. I think I'm curious. You have your journey, how you got here. I think that really resonates a lot more. People kind of understand your arc of how you ended up here. Can you kind of tell us briefly your journey and how you ended up here?
College was at Mississippi State. I was an all SEC player in football. No desire really to do anything other than play professional football, as all 20-year-old idiots do. So I dedicated my life to that and went through several different iterations of just keeping my grades up. Got done with that, finished playing some arena football, finished in Spain in 1994, 4 or 5, something like that, I don't remember. And got back to work on school and got my bachelor's. I was working on my master's degree. Got accepted into optometry school, is what I meant to say. And went to SCO. Had a great time over there. Met a lot of real nice folks and had a good time. Got through school, got out, started working with my dad. There's one bull per pasture for a reason. They'll kill each other. When my dad and I determined that we'd rather enjoy Christmas and him get to meet his grandkids than me work with him. So off I went and did several different things. And like I said, failure is a good teacher. So fail, had several of them, and kind of got where we are over here. And oddly enough, I'm in an old Pizza Hut that I used to work in when I was in high school. So I gutted it and turned it into an eye care clinic. That's a pretty weird thing, but I'm actually sitting in the room that I used to wash dishes in. So it's one of those circle of life things.
That's pretty cool. And you're in Mississippi, correct?
I am Columbus, Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Right smack in the middle next to Alabama.
Okay.
Live in Alabama and work in Mississippi.
Now you went to a Mississippi school, so I'm guessing you don't pull for Alabama. No.
Not at all.
So I like this theme of like, hey, you gotta fail. Tell me how you got back on the horse with your optometry clinic. Like, was something that happened? You were like, man, this would have been tough, but I got back on the horse.
I have 4 kids and they like to eat. So the option of failure is really not it's not something that can happen. But yeah, you try stuff and it fails, and you try something new and it fails, and you take the 2 of those that you failed on and you look at it and you go, how about we try this? And it works, and you're like, all right, high five. And getting a good team has been the best thing for me. I have a very specific personality of great ideas, very poor putting the rubber to the road. Implementation is not my strong spot. So I had to get some people on board that could help me with that. And it's been just going. So find the right people, tell them what you want, and get out of the way. It works wonderful. I don't abdicate, I delegate, but I also keep up with what they do. And we have meetings quarterly and weekly and annually to readdress the direction of the ship and make sure that the right people are in the right positions and that we're heading where we want to go. And works pretty dadgum good. I've been happy.
I want to touch on something you said earlier too. You said you made a mistake here, you made a mistake here, and then you like take a look at them together and be like, well, maybe we should try this. Do you have an example of something like that in your offices?
I have tried to implement different equipment. We got I can't say a name, but a specific. Oh, I can say it. I actually hope they burn. Oh, I bought a visual field system from a company that sounds like Hero, and the Hero field bombed. The concept was great, but the implementation was not right. And I also bought another system for radio frequency surgery that we do. It's RF Surgitron. Great concept. Didn't get it applied properly. Wasn't ready, didn't train. I have a tendency to go off and buy things before I think about them. And that's why I had to take both of those because I bought those. I was like, man, that's awesome. I'll take two of them and I'll take one of those too. And my ROIs were junk. So I had to, that was the last two that I did a lot going through my, I have in my company, we follow a protocol called the EOS as Entrepreneur Operating System. I had some great guys help me. Corey and Tim helped me learn to be a owner and a manager. And I'm not a good manager. I'm a good eye doctor, but I'm not a good business person at all. I don't know if you've ever heard that about optometrists, but not a lot of us are good at that. And I hired some people to help me do business. I do the visionary role, and I have the ideas. And I have an integrator. His name is Eric. And Eric's job is to play battleship with my ideas. I don't know if you know that game from kids. E4, miss. E5, hit. E6, sunk my ship. He sinks all of my ideas. And if he can't sink them, then it's his job to implement them. He has to integrate it. And he's good at sinking them. But he's also very good at taking what's left and going, that's kind of weird. It actually might work. So it works really well. And we meet daily. And then we have, like I said, weeklies and quarterly meetings to make sure we're on the right path. Like anything, you have to work it. You can't just touch it every once in a while. If you do, you will fail worse. And we have to stay on top of it. And I have to trust my team because I'm busy. I don't have time. I've got 40 patients. If I don't see those 40 patients, we don't keep the bills paid and the profit's not there and we can't afford the tools that I'm wanting to bring to the table. So I have to stay busy, but we meet and do our little thing and it works really, really well.
I like that. Yeah, EOS is a theme that we see a lot on this call, on these calls. So there's a lot of folks that do that. I think we even have, I did the interview already, but I think it's going to be released maybe after yours or before. Larry Golson, an optometrist turned EOS implementer. So it's we use that too in our offices. So I'm a huge fan. In fact, I got to the point where I don't go into my offices anymore because you exactly what you said is like I'm terrible at running.
You have to recognize what you're good at.
Yeah.
And I have a personality that I don't admit failure. It's not right yet. So I just got to do more, work harder. And that doesn't work always. Sometimes working harder is not smarter.
What did you run into that you didn't expect when you were growing your business?
People that I have brought on that I have done good for a long time didn't, this business is my baby. It is my baby. It's not theirs. It's their job. And it's different. I expected them to achieve a certain level and have a certain desire that I did. And it was kind of disappointing that they didn't. But then again, it's reality. You know, they're here for a job. They may like the job, but it's not the thing that they are all about. Optometry and eye care and providing services for patients. I couldn't do anything else. This is my oxygen. It's my breath. I love it. Was at a meeting last night with some friends. We had a surgeon take us to dinner and had some discussions about corneal work, and several of them are wanting to back off, and I'm like, back off? Oh, I've got more time. I have more days of the week to do what I want to do. I was like, this is what I want to do. So, I love this and I wouldn't do anything else. And, again, that was my biggest problem because it was hard to understand why they didn't. I mean, you're not in this as much as me. No, they're not. So it changed my point of view about how I deal with, my team. And I understand it's more of a transactional, but it's also, you can grow some. Some of them will matriculate up into leadership positions and ideally ownership positions, because I want them to be a vested partner. Nobody works as hard as the person that owns it. I want them to be an owner.
That's pretty good insight. So, how do you? What are some ways that you do that? Like, can you give us one technique that really works well for you?
We kind of try. We make it as we have taken the staff that we have, and we do personality tests. We see, are they meeting expectations? Are they growing? Part of our core values is always learning and improving. And if you're not learning something every day, then it's not for you. But I also understand you're not going to get that kind of person, that diamond in the rough is not in every handful of rocks that you pick up. So sometimes you just got to pick up the rocks and, work with it and do the best you can. And maybe they'll turn into it, and maybe they won't. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having people who want a job. That's okay. They perform a good service and they're paid well for it. But then there's the other ones that are interested in learning more, doing more. They come to me and say, I read this, or I watched this video, or I was looking at ODs on Facebook and I saw XYZ and da-da-da-da. What do you think about bringing this into the office? That's the ones that we start polishing and training and working. And when we do that, it gets to where it's better.
I love it. That's awesome. What makes you tick? Like, why do you want to grow? Why do you want to keep going? And I feel like, what is it about that? Like, what do you think that is about you?
Why?
Yeah.
I honestly like helping people. I like making a difference. I enjoy being able to have somebody smile at the end of the exam and go, thank you. Nobody's told me that before. I wondered about that, or I didn't even know that was an option, or, I've been to other places before, and your team is just wonderful and they're the nicest people. And I would put it this way, having the good team has been big. And I will say that again and again and again. I had 30, 40 Google reviews 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 500 and something now. They're 90%, 99% 5-star. The few of them that are not, other than the people who just don't give 5 stars, are very pithily responded to by me, as because they're upset they didn't pay their bill and they couldn't come in, or other things like that. But almost every one of them is talking about my staff, about my team. I am in my little room, shut up in my little box, and I don't see what goes on out there. But it's really good to have people that are doing the job well, and I track it and I'll watch it and I'll talk with them. I'm kind of, big brother. I've got cameras everywhere, audio, and I sit back here when I have a moment and, what are you doing right there? Okay. I listen to the phone system we have. I'll go back and listen to all of the calls, not all, but I'll pick a few and listen to them and just make sure that again, I'm not abdicating my role, but I'm delegating it and make sure that they do the job right. And when they don't, we coach them and they either want to learn or they want to find a new career. And most of them like to learn.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna ask you a question now. Shift gears a little bit. A lot of folks are having challenges with reimbursements.
Mhm.
Either more patients or just getting paid enough per patient or staffing. How are you dealing with those challenges, if at all?
They're a challenge for everybody. It just is what it is. It's the game we play in. There's a lot less providers than there are taxpayers. And taxpayers want to pay less in taxes and providers want to get paid, and that's never going to balance. We will lose that battle always. So we have to be more efficient. We have to find other revenue sources. We've started doing aesthetics. Like I said, the radio frequency, I started with that. Didn't get it implemented as well as it should have been, but I'm learning a little bit more and a little bit more, and I'm trying to come back my second round and do better. We've added skills, PIP certified a couple years back, primary eye care procedures.
Yeah.
We've moved more into the medical. Glasses is literally glasses contacts is less than 20% of my overall revenue. It's just not that big a part of what we do. We're medical oriented. So I'm kind of an outlier. I do a lot of tons of diabetes. Mississippi's number one. We're number one in glaucoma. Excuse me, I'm number one in diabetes per capita. Twice the national average. We're going to double again by 2032. Lots of work for me. So tons of diabetics, tons of glaucoma, a lot of AMD, cataracts left and right, man, and dry eye abundantly. That's another thing. You can really make a difference in patients' lives just doing more explaining, talking, treatment modalities than, well, here's your big bottle of drops. Put those in. See you next year. You have to research, you have to learn, you have to grow. That builds revenue streams. It builds the doctor-patient relationships, and people feel better. They keep coming back, and they do better, and they keep coming back, and it just builds that stair-step process to grow your practice.
I like that. It's good insight. As far as what do you? We talked about your community involvement. What do you do for the community? How do you? I know it's important. You've kind of hinted at it, but talk to us about that and how you use that to. I know you don't do it because you want to build your practice, but it helps with that. But talk about that a little bit.
I support all the things that come to me. On the basketball teams, baseball teams, different churches, whatever they need, we help with. I feel the need my personal faith requires me to achieve more outreach and help of my fellow human being than it does for me to achieve a higher balance in my bank account. There are no U-Hauls for your checkbook on the hearse. So you have to answer for that one. And I want to be sure that I can say, yes, I did it right. So that's what I try to do. Just try to help folks. If they need it, we do it. We do the best we can. And I have a tendency, again, this is where I rely on my team. I have a tendency to, sure, man, here you go, no charge. My staff is like, well, come on here, Mr. Smith, let's talk about this. Have you signed up for Medicaid? Have you looked at this? Have you asked her? No. Well, let's do that. And if that doesn't work, then we'll get you here. And a lot of times they're able to get these people hooked up other places, which helps them in the long haul. And it also is not me just giving it away. So
Wow.
That's been good for us.
So that's something I have not heard folks do. Folks, you actually work with them, helping them get like support and help.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have, we're poor, dude. This is Mississippi. I mean, we're number one in diabetes, but we're also, depending on how Alabama or Arkansas is doing, we're number one in poverty. We do beds for humanity with our church, and we take beds to people. People go, beds? There's so many families, kids ain't got beds, they're sleeping on the floor. They rolled up in a sheet on the floor, and we're poor here, and we try to help them, and believe it or not, you would think they would know, they don't, and we have a team that helps with that. Brissa is the lady that you met earlier.
Yeah.
She's the one that helps with that, and she knows all the people to call. She'll help set them up, and we do that.
You might be underselling this. It sounds like it's more a programmatic than just like, oh, let's just help people as they come in. It sounds like you have a systematic way of doing this. Yeah.
It's big, man. It's tough here, Mississippi, and we're in one of the top 15 or bottom 15, I guess you would say, top 15 for worst. Counties out of 82. Lowndes County is pretty much up there, and it's tough stuff. But these people, they have a hard time. And it's not from lack of trying. I mean, there's some lazy butts. You can pick them out, but there's other people that are really busting it, and it's just tough. It's tough. You live in a small little rental place that has no insulation. Your electric bill's $500 a month just to keep your family from dying. Because without that AC running the year, 24 hours at full pump, it's 130 degrees in your trailer. So, what do they do? They don't know no better. And it's just difficult stuff. So we try to help with things like that and reach out to, there's a lot of other people. And it's not just me. I'm not, don't let me even think that I'm saying that. There are a lot of people doing a lot of good around here. And they come in and say, "What do you think about, help here?" Absolutely, man. What can we do? We get backpacks for kids. We get back to school packages. One of the things that happens in our area, all the schools call the different retailers in the area, and they'll have, school X, school Y, school Z. Here's the first grade package, the second grade package, the third. So the family doesn't have to go shopping on all the shelves. They can just come in and pick up the box and walk out the door. So we help with a lot of that and covering the cost of that. And we cover Christmas, which is one of my favorite times. I enjoy taking my kids, and we go shopping for kids, and we go pick up things for children, for gifts and things, and just being a decent human.
I got to ask, you got the beard for it. Christmas time comes around, yeah, you put on the hat too, and
yeah. Well, it's pretty funny there, kid. I wouldn't know about that. Whoa. How are you doing now? Yeah, I do.
Nice. I love
it. I got the beard and the belly. I got both, man. One needs a red attire, and I'm good to go.
That's awesome. And so what are you excited about well, let's start with your practice first and your business. What are you most excited about there? And then I'll ask you about the industry next.
Just getting here, just being here. I enjoy just being here every day. I love seeing patients. I love practicing my craft. I love getting better. I'm as far out as I can go training wise. I mean, I'm always going to more, but I'm as certified as you can get for what we do. And I'm excited about the next step. What's next? Are we going to have SLT? We're going to have intravitreal. What's next on the horizon? Because in ophthalmology this year, I believe it's this year, we actually go negative net, and that's not good. Negative net. So more retiring and dying that are coming out, and that's bad mojo when you got 6 million plus a year turning 65. So, and these young docs, when they come out, most of them have their pick of whatever. How many of them you think are coming back to a country place like where we are?
Yeah.
Not many, buddy. And I don't blame them. I could make $3 million a year in Columbus or $1.5 million a year in Miami, and I'm doing a lot better. So where am I going? See you on the beach. Peace out. So not many folks want to come here into the South, into the country areas, rural. And there's going to be a lot of need. We already right now have 10 counties in my state that have no eye care. 0 out of 82, 10. Doesn't seem like a lot. It's easy for you and I to drive, but what about Mama and Pop? Mama doesn't see real good. Pop's incontinent, and he's having some Alzheimer's issues. It's tough to get him to drive a 50-minute drive on streets that Mama's not very comfortable driving on. And you got to deal with that and medicines, bathrooms, and kids and grandkids, and it's just stuff. Whereas, 5 years ago, down by the local Piggly Wiggly, Dr. X was down there. He'd been there 50 years, and by the time you went to look, Dr. X is gone. Building's boarded up. So that's a lot of what happens in our state.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that, because you're seeing more, but I think you're seeing more of a scope increase too for optometrists. And so hopefully Mississippi is expanding the scope so you can
Oh yeah,
more.
we're cutting edge, man. We're up there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. I know. I think Wyoming. I interviewed a person from Wyoming, and he was like, he could do almost anything. Like,
Mhm.
and so it's like, wow,
Well,
this is pretty wide scope. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Wyoming, you're out in the middle of nowhere. I
yeah,
mean, it's either you or nobody.
yeah,
So they kind of have to open those doors.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
the only thing that keeps that from happening is politics, and politics and pie. Keep out of my pie. Get your hands in your own, and political. Yep. But I've been happy to see us be able to get past some things. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Um, I want to shift gears just a little bit. I kind of want to hear a story that you feel made you who you are. So it could be something when you're much younger or more recent, but a story you're like, yeah, you know what, this really formed me to who I am.
Really for me. That's an interesting one. Really professionally, uh, again, one bull per pasture. When I got out of school, had to kind of go do my own thing,
Mhm.
and I chose to go to an area that is extremely in need, and went down to the Delta, which in Mississippi is every biological entity. Ankit has an entrance orifice and an exit orifice. The Delta is the exit orifice of Mississippi. It's the butthole. And I went down there and lived for a decade. And I mean, if you're going to do something, do it right. So if you're going to have a bankruptcy chapter 7, make it 7 figures. So, I mean, we expanded out to 5 clinics. I had 4 other doctors working for us at different places. And the 2008 financial crisis hit. And it just rolled it up. And had to start over. When I learned, that's what made me learn to be much more cautious. Once you've been bitten by that bug once, you don't ever want to go back to that again.
Yeah.
I kind of can relate to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, hey, I had a car, but it didn't have 20 cents to put gas in it. So I was searching couch cushions for about 4 years. It's just this life. You come to find out what's important and what really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
And that's been something that having been through that and getting back into to family life, getting remarried and having 2 little boys now has let me kind of start over and redo some stuff that I didn't do as well as I could have or should have.
Yeah. That's a heck of experience. So if I heard that right, you had like what, 4 or 5 locations, 4 or 5 doctors, like 10 locations? Was that?
I had 5 locations and 4 different clinics. And hey man, if you're gonna blow up, the bigger the boom, the better. So it just one of them things. So 2008, just the timing was terrible. The clinics were killing it, and then everything financially hit, and it just boom, it was done. It turned it off. I didn't understand at that time. I had a person who was my help. He was my financial help who had been in the military. And I understood after that why the military cost so much. Because we had everything. Couldn't pay for it, but we had it all. We were right on the edge of just every month not having enough. And I didn't want to look at business. I just wanted to do doctor. And I got my little room and I saw patients. It was great. And it just wasn't enough. One guy cannot float 5 offices. Just doesn't happen. So had to learn the hard way. And came back and started working in a corporate place with a big old smiley face, and did that for a decade. And then we had a core disagreement on what my role was at that corporate place with the smiley face. And I had to tell them goodbye. And I'm actually 2.1 miles away from my former lease. So I was within the realm of a non-compete issue, which I'm glad to see is now not a problem anymore for doctors. So, yeah, and that's how we ended up over here.
Nice. Well, that's a heck of a story. So,
Hey,
you weren't kidding about like keep going forward, right? So that's a big.
just keep one foot in front of the other. You get up and rinse and repeat. Never had a problem taking care of patients. That was always easy. Taking care of the finances, I suck. I'm terrible, but I have people that help me now, and I'm doing a lot better.
So you learned a lot from that journey. It sounds like
I learned a lot of what not to do. Yes, sir.
it seems to be what most education is. Times, especially in the real
It's
world.
wisdom, not intelligence. Clinical intelligence, I've been doing pretty good. Business intelligence, I'm short bus, baby. But I've got some folks that help, so it's been good. And they have helped me. You do what you have to do, you pay your bills. There's things you love to do, and there's things you do to pay the bills. And I'm lucky enough that I enjoy all of it, but doing the things that I have to do opens the door for the things that I want. And I happen to be okay with both of them. So it's a good win. And I get to help people. That's the whole point. Get to make a difference.
That's awesome.
It is every day.
What is it that what advice would you give to your younger self right out of OD school?
Slow your roll. Cash reserves are king. And patience, young man. Not the kind you see, but the kind you have. So invest in those three and you will do very well. And I've always been a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. Ready, fire. Like I said, the things that I made mistakes on. Oh, those are awesome. I'll buy two. That's great. I didn't think about what it costs and how to implement it and what to do. And, so slow down. Take a moment. Think about it. Think again. Do some prayer. Talk to some people that are smarter than you, which I don't have any trouble finding those folks around here. There's a lot of people smarter than me. They're not wiser because they hadn't done as much dumb stuff as I have. So I would tell them to slow down, take your time, and cash is king.
I think those are some good insights for folks. I like that. I think that's very translatable. So, well, Lee, this has been amazing. I think you have a lot of wisdom that you could share with a lot of folks. Everything from how do you set up community programs to EOS to hey, this is how I dealt with my business going under. If people want to learn more about you or connect with you, where can they find you on your socials or anywhere else?
662-822 and the ever-present eye doctor cool phone number 2020. It's 662-822-2020. I give my cell number out to my patients every day. Believe it or not, they don't really call that much. They just want to know that you're there. So I'm always available for a text and or a call, and I love sharing. Like I said, wisdom is stupid things that you actually survived and should have killed you. I got lots of wisdom. I don't know about smarts, but I got lots of wisdom. I've been very blessed to get through some of the messes I've had. So, but it's fun, and it's if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to do it. But that's the whole point. I love this career. It's great. I see people say they hate it. Man, I can't wait to be done. And I'm like, Dave, what are you talking about? I mean, apparently you're doing it wrong, and somebody needs to show you how to have fun with it. I mean, I have little kid, I call them my little mini-me's that come in, and they come into shadow we have MSMS, Mississippi School of Math and Science, just down the road at the college, and it's these high school kids that are just geniuses, and they're out of high school, in college, they're at a college facility doing like advanced high school, like everything is advanced for these kids. And they come over here to get some real world experience, and I try to give them the Jedi mind trick. You want to be an OD? Look like it can be wonderful. Trying to do that little mind move on them, and show them what it's about. Let them see what's happening, and it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Let's go. That's well, hopefully one of them will come back and maybe help you out in your practice.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I've had 3 in the last 4 years go to optometry school. None of them have graduated.
All right. So
We got
maybe.
3 of them that are eye care. One of them was wanting to do it anyway,
Okay.
but I turned another one from OBGYN. She ended up going to UAB, and I got another one going to SCO coming up this year. So it's been a lot of fun having them. They're fun to have, and they look at you like, "What are you going to tell me?" You know, like you have something smart, and they're like, "Well, let me give you some wisdom."
Okay. Well, and Dr. Ford, we'll put all that contact information in the show notes. And
Sure.
again, thank you again so much for being on the podcast, Dr. Ford.
My pleasure. I had a ball. Thank you.
This is fun. Yeah. And thank you, audience. If you learned something, laughed, please share the podcast or the YouTube with a friend, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And there's also a link in the show notes to book a meeting with me. And if you do, I'll send you a free copy of my new book, Optometry Redefined. Thank you again, Dr. Ford. This has been another exciting episode of Optometrists Building Empires. See you next time. That's a wrap on another episode of Optometrists Building Empires. Thanks for joining. For show notes and more, visit buildingempires.live. This show is proudly sponsored by My Business Care Team. My Business Care Team was born out of staffing challenges my wife and I faced together, managing multiple optometry locations. We refined our approach at Classic Vision Care and now offer our expertise to others. If you're experiencing challenges with staffing and you'd like to set up a discovery call, we'd be happy to help you and connect you with the right resources. We'll see you next time.